Okay, is that better? Sorry about that. Didn't realize my goddamn mic wasn't plugged in. I don't know how that happened. All right. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. We're finally starting off on chapter 6. Just hoping to get some. I'm just gonna load this up so that we can have a bit of silence. So as I was saying, some interesting, obviously, like, I'm not going to go over the recap because, like, it's, I mean, I guess I'll touch on it a little. I know that I think that, based on the fangans that I've seen, which admittedly isn't very many, it seems like SDRA2's fifth trial was very influential in that a lot of fangans seem to take notes from that trial's outcome. And granted, to be honest, sometimes it kind of feels like that isn't really needed. Like, it doesn't really add anything. Like, especially when the villain basically has the entire cast dead to rights and then just doesn't do anything with it for some reason. But considering Lanuge's track record, I assume there's going to be an actual reason for why this happened and also, like, what has led to this. Because evidently the story's not over. What do you think about Chapter 0, Kokoro and Mikado interaction? Interesting. I don't really know where it's going, though. It seems like something that isn't really going to make sense until more is explained. But I do at least like the idea of actually seeing these characters outside, like in the real world, after all this speculation about like what kinds of people they actually were, and the fact that they're running off only their high school memories so far. But anyway, before I begin today, I've also got a funny story to tell. So, one thing happened. So I think I've just got a tendency to have like all my technology and computer stuff just break down in very funny ways. So let me see. Yeah. So I'm holding these headphones right now, and I started using them after my Bluetooth headphones just stopped charging. They just wouldn't charge no matter how much I tried. And so I started using these headphones with a cord, and that's what you've been... I think I've been streaming with these basically since the beginning. At least I think that's the case. Point is, there was like a couple days ago, there was a little like crack in the top of them, and eventually it got to the point where the plastic cracked all the way down the middle, and now... They are just they still work, but they are just barely being held together by the one little soft part that has been detached from the plastic with like a cord, with like this one little cord running through it all. That is the one thing that is keeping these things operational. And so until I got a pair of new headphones, that's what I've been dealing with, trying to do a little balancing act with these damn things. So yeah. Anyway, let's get started. The world is falling apart. What was that? Playing edgelord? No, I mean literally. It's all tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. Don't we all know? Everything's over now. If this is happening, the killing school field trip must have come to an end. Though there's no way for us to find out how it all ended. But I think it's unusual even for Mikado to put a sudden end to everything. Did something go wrong with the plan? Serves him right! Rot in hell, Mikado Sonoji! It's just my speculation. Yeah, what we know for sure is whether Mikado's plan succeeded or not, our time here is up. If Mr. Utsuro really came back to life, if we can get our fortune back, and even the smallest chance of us coming back to life opens up. No, there's no such chance. Fortune's just that. Mere luck. Smile and fate. It's impossible to bring people back from the dead. And even if it were possible, Mikado Sonochi would never let it happen. No. I don't want to die. I want to live some more. I want to stay here with you guys. Emma, snap out of it. We're already dead. Us talking here like this is only a fantasy. I know that. I'm prepared to face the end. It would be childish to deny that. But I just couldn't help it. Our lives for the past years have been a living hell. And when we finally escape those gutters and live a normal life, we're right back down and have to accept it's the end? No! I hate it! Why me? Why do we have to go through all this suffering? Stop it. Crying out like that won't change what's already done. Besides, we all did something terrible. Hey, Nikkei, is there anything you want to say? It might be your last chance. Or are you keeping quiet because you don't have a mouth? Fuck it. I'm just waiting for all this to be over. I'm glad that this hell of a life is ending. There's no point in living life without power. Yeah, just let me return to dust. Are you sure about that? Well... What about you, then? Your health. You want to regain your health. You came this far just for that one goal. Why are you so concerned about other people? You must be the most desperate of us. That might be true. But still, there's something that came to my mind when I realized this will be the end. This is what I was fated to be. What? We were all granted power of fortune by Mr. Utsuro, and with that power altered each of our fates. We weren't dragged down to hell. We were there from the very beginning. Fortune might have allowed us a temporary escape, but this is the place we were all supposed to be. You? So we can't change fate. I don't know. There might have been some way if Mr. Utsuro was still alive. But wouldn't it be better to think that we came back where we belonged, then we lost everything? At least in your last moments. Forget it. You're lame. I'd rather not spend my last moment dealing with the likes of you. Yeah, Hajime really does get a lot more interesting in the Void Theaters. Especially impressive since I've not done a single one of his free time events. I'm gonna lay down here and silently fall into sleep. If that's what you want. I'm sorry. Emma? Tell me one final joke. Anything's fine. Oh, but I thought you hated them. Just pick one already. It's almost time. Alright. I once brought a honeycomb and a jackass into a brothel. Excuse me. What do you call a deer with extremely good eyesight? A buck guy? I don't know. Master Utsuro, I was happy to meet you, but at the same time I was unhappy. That's the reason I resent our meeting. So thank you. Because you were... What should I say first? If I were to explain the who is monologuing right now, my name is though I doubt anyone really cared. As you can see, I'm not or have a as well as I'm just one of the student that at any morning empty. Only emptiness. Empty. Bruh. Bruh. Sora, get up! Oh, what the heck? Is that... Who is that? Is that Yorko? Sora, are you okay? Huh? Sora, it's me. Are you okay? Do you want to know do you know where we are? This place. Nice parallel to the beginning. Oh dear. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay, Sora. When I found you on the floor, I thought you were dead. I thought I was dead. Huh? Who are you? Excuse me? This is the first time we've met, right? Wait, is it? Something about you's familiar. Sora, it's me, Yorko Kabuya. Yorko? Is that really you? Yes, of course it is. You look like a completely different person. I don't understand either. I looked like... As it is, Exodus, Exodus. We must be in the demon dimension. Did you say that your memories are back? Yeah, I don't know why. So how did you get kidnapped and forced into the killing game? I'll tell you, just wait a second. My mind is still a little fuzzy. I think Sora is physically an adult now. Yeah, hi everybody. Chow, Bats, Golem, Revolution Bean, probably others I'm forgetting. I'm sure I was working as usual, then someone... Sorry, I don't remember the details, but I know for sure I was surprise attacked. If you don't want to remember, you don't have to. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. In any case, we know what's going on now, so I think we need to check... Huh. The student handbook's completely broken. There's some weird static in the rules section. Sora, look at this. Kodewa. The reset code is unlocked. Did this bring my memories back? Let me check mine. Oh, mine's like that too. Really? So have you remembered anything? They should come back. My real memories. You remember before, right? Oh, yeah. Akane Taira, was it? Have you got any other memories apart from hers? I should have, but I don't feel any different from how I did in the last trial. Well, the change of my appearance must have something to do with the reset code. But you haven't changed at all, so maybe it didn't work for you. I don't know. The reset code is not absolute. The reset code just initializes the tampered state of data. Tampered state? What's that? Wait, what? Monocro! Ah, pleasure to see you all again. You, what do you want this time? No, wait a second, I'm no longer your enemy. What bullshit are you trying to pull? You work for Mikado. Yoriko, wait a minute. Monocro, I wanted to talk to you. Sora? The day I arrived on the 5th island. When that happened, you tried to tell us something, right? Yes. Why didn't you say anything, and what did you do after that? Then your condition was weird? And there's got to be a reason that you're here, right? Still as seasoned as ever, Miss Sora. I'll admit you were half right. Half right? Once my data was initialized, it doesn't make sense for me to be here anymore. So in theory, my personality should be dead. But I've somehow come back to life. Now that I have a few moments of freedom, I came here to tell you. What are you talking about? Don't you understand? I'm here to help you guys. To help us? It seems both your reset codes have been activated, right? Seeing how Yoriko's avatar has been released. But nonetheless, you lack information. To defeat that monster Mikado, you need information. Am I wrong? Wait a minute, you're acting weird. You've been on Mikado's side all this time, so why are you helping us now? Well, I'm not sure either. I think the default value of my algorithm is to help humans. Algorithm? All programs act using algorithms, and the principle of those are determined by a default value. Well, I've not exactly been trustworthy so far, so you have to make a choice if to trust me or not. I won't force you. As Yoriko said, I have been working for Mikado, so why would you trust me? However, I am no longer under his jurisdiction, so now my action is to help you. I hope you believe that much. What should we do? Sora... Monocro, what do you know about Mikado's plan? Where are the others and what's going on? Well, not all of them are here, but I could show you where they are. He really is the monemy of their dynamic. I mean, you're not wrong, especially when he's often relegated to the sidelines. Yoriko, let's take his help. Are you serious? It's hard to understand the situation with just us two alone. Besides, we don't know where the others are. And we could always use some eyes in the sky. You have the perfect bird for that job. Please don't address me as just a bird. Right, I'm suspicious of Monocro, but he's been acting weird for the past few days. However, if you betray us, you will die. Do not worry, my algorithm isn't programmed to lie. Was that a lie, though? So it is safe to assume you've decided there's nothing else on this beach. We should move. Move? To where? To the Singularity. Please talk to me when you're ready. I want to start right away. What a sudden reunion. Monocro's certainly back to his usual self. I'm still not sure if he's our ally or our enemy. But I'm sure he's something that could be useful to us. What happened to us? Who knows what the future may hold? It's time to uncover the truth. The Moon of Hope and Sun of Despair. Really going all in on that title screen. Yoriko, if your memories are back, do you know what the outside world is like? The world? What are you on about? I'm asking because I don't know if I don't think I've been conscious for a long time. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Hi, Define Obsessed. I'm curious to know what's changed since then. Oh, so that's it. Hi, Raviner. Well, it was terrible. Luckily, I managed to evacuate in time. But there were so many casualties. How long has passed since it happened? Is it over? Well, I don't know exactly how long, but it's at least been a few years. Most of the riots have ended, and society has returned to some level of normality. But the security system's much worse than it was before. What is it, Sora? Oh no, it's nothing. Are you ready? Right. Well, let's move right away. Wait a minute, Monocro. Just where's the singularity? In this state, it is possible to manipulate it. Oh, we're just talking nonsense. Let's get back to the important part, about Yuri's reality. To be precise, somebody called the connection device in reality. That was the reason. The connection device? Is there something like that in the capsule machine? Well, as far as I'm aware, this device will show information. Ah, here we are. This is his profile? That's all we know about Yuri Kagarin. Please have a read. Name, Yuri Kagarin, Japanese and Russian raced. Mid-20s. From a young age, he inherited the Kagarin Corporation. He hated men very much, but was able to see the varied abilities of humans, and became an outstanding businessman and developed the Kagarin Corporation to new heights, using independently developed AI called Yuri for space explorations. He successfully contributed greatly to the space industry, and became one of the symbols of next-generation hope. Influenced by a girl from his past, he was determined to devote himself to helping women's welfare. Looks like a lot of great achievements, but still nothing special. Still the same old Yuri. Not only Yuri's body was big, but he himself was. So what does this have to do with our situation? Miss Sora, do you not remember? Yeah? What? Well, I am aware that you've recovered your memories as Akane Taira. Am I wrong? Yuri Kagarin met Akane Taira as a child. What? So, Sora... Yuri, who originally rejected men and worshipped women. The reason he became so obsessed with women was because Yuri hired Akane Taira as a worker for him. Then does that mean... Sora, do you remember meeting him as Akane Taira? I wonder if there's a reference to this in DRA1, because Akane does talk a lot about her, like, previous jobs in her free time events. I'm not too sure. I can't remember for certain. Well, I don't really remember everyone I met whilst I was a maid. Right. Well, whether Miss Sora remembers Yuri or not doesn't really matter. What's important is Yuri had knowledge of Akane Taira. Why is that important? Why does that matter? Because that is the reason they were caught in the killing game. All of you, Utsuro, the very purpose of Mikado. He brought you all here because you were all related to his classmates during Utsuro's time as Hope's Peak Academy. What? Including me? Minako Tomori, does that name seem familiar to you? Kizuna's mother. Minako? Wait, how do you know her? Minako Tomori's only daughter, Kizuna Tomori, is the ultimate cheerleader of the 79th class at Hope's Peak. She was one of Utsuro's classmates. Huh? No way. Wait, are they going to say that Kizuna was Yoriko's friend from her free time events? Because if so, that would actually explain, like, why... That would actually explain a good amount of her design that we see for most of the game. What? Minako is a married woman? Oh, no, never mind. Minako is, I see now. Is it really a surprise? But she really has a husband and a daughter. Why? Did you two have a thing going on? No, Mikado was the madam at the bar I used to work at in high school. Even though I was a minor and she looked after me so I could work with her. To think she was a married woman. But this isn't about her. This is about Minako's daughter who went to Hope's Peak, right? Sorry, I'm writing down all the connections, because I feel like I get the sense we're going to get a lot of this.
Is One Piece actually, like, slated to end anytime soon? Because it seems like one of those franchises that's meant to go on forever. Not that I know much about it.
But this isn't about her. This is about Minako's daughter who went to Hope's Peak, right? Yes, to be more precise, the Hope's Peak Academy's 79th class. Allow me to say this one more time. The reason you became a target of Mikado was because you were more or less related to the 79th class students. In the case of Sora, Akane Taira was part of the 79th class herself. It's easier to fake your age before things like cell phones. Yeah. So that is self-explanatory. Wait a minute, Madam's daughter and Sora were classmates? Minako's age at that time, and then her daughter was in high school. That means... Grandma Kabuya. What? Oh, no. I wasn't trying to calculate your age. Well, age doesn't matter, so just please stop calling me that. Is that touching moment over? May I continue? All of you, except the members of Void, were related to the 79th class in some way. No, technically the Void sought help from the 79th class member Utsuro. Since they're technically related, it means all of you are related to the 79th class. Come to think of it, Teruya was part of the 79th class of Hope's Peak as well. Then, was he also a classmate of Utsuro? Correct. In Mikado's plan, everyone was supposed to have a slight relation to the 79th class. But there were some who were in the 79th class themselves. That included Akane Taira. That's you, Sora. And that's the reason we're in this in this terrible situation? Because we had connections to the 79th class? So why did Mikado collect everyone connected to them? In order for Yuki to become Utsuro, he needed to create didn't give me the full details. Well, I'm saying, well, I say that, Bats, because it seems like, you know, Golem... I know that, like, in terms of, like, the story, sure, go ahead and acknowledge that, you know, it is in the universe, but, yeah, I don't know how many... I don't know what everyone... Obviously, I can't read everyone's thoughts here unless they, like, actually tell me what they're saying. So, I don't really... I just find her a very frustrating character in terms of just how much... in terms of retroactively how much damage she really did to the series. I think of Junko, what they described in DRA, I'd like her a lot more than I currently do. Yeah, honestly, yeah, like, she's... I don't really know how to explain it. Like, she's actually presented, like, not necessarily in an interesting way, but at least in universe. Toa from UDG is the best canon mastermind in the series. Here, the less screen time was a constant threat, was a bit funny in some places, has a strong connection to the protag killing the parents. Yep, that's pretty much the explanation. Yeah, I understand that people bring up Danganronpa 0, Bats, but here's the thing. I shouldn't have to read supplementary material just to understand basic stuff about the characters in a video game series. I shouldn't have to read supplementary material. It reeks of a lack of planning. And that's kind of... And honestly, I think that's what Danganronpa's problem is a lot of the time. Her biggest issue is my issue with other series like FNAF, where everything has to always tie back to them as a direct cause rather than an indirect one. Yeah, I also... I think... I personally don't like when so much stuff I don't really like when a single force or character or whatever is the direct cause of everything. Like, I mean... Actually, now that actually reminds me, if you're wondering what I was doing yesterday instead of streaming, I was wrapping up Ace Attorney Investigations 2 with Noah, and also Kraz. And one thing I liked about that game is, yes, a lot of the... Like, yes, you have a lot of these incidents that are very closely tied together in how they build the plot we get to experience in-game, but there's no one single event that everything springs from. Like... The IS-7 incident, while it is arguably the most important... While it is a very influential event in the history of Ace Attorney, it is not, like, direct outcomes. Like, DL6 does happen as a result of IS-7, but it's not solely due to the killer from the IS-7 incident. Yes, I did finish Investigations 2. Kyoko is an example of this. Her novel expands on her character, but she's solid without it. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure that, like, I don't know... I haven't read any supplementary material for Danganronpa, but I mean, if I can find fan translations, I might. But the point is, like... Well, I mean, actually, it's, I'm trying to think of, like, a good example, but I don't really have one. Like, after her popping up in UDG and literally everything else kind of felt too repetitive. Yeah, like... It just seems like they were too afraid to, like, stray away from... what they had originally, but I really think that... Do you have any ideas on how you'd rewrite Junko in the biggest, most tragic event in human history? Honestly, I don't... Off the top of my head, not really, but honestly, like, I'd probably make... I mean, personally, I'd also make it so that it's not nearly as catastrophic, or at least not presented like the freaking apocalypse that it is in the first game. So... But I'd also... I don't really know what I do personally. Like, it's the same problem I have with ideas that I'd want to do for my post V3 fic, because you'd have to rewrite a lot of stuff. I would definitely have... I would want to have, like, I think that there needs to be more of an exploration of Junko's character without having to go back over the entire game with the knowledge that she's, like, piloting Monokuma the whole time, and that she's presumably speaking without a filter there, because it's very easy to do something like that, and it's not something that I find particularly satisfying. Anyway, keep the questions coming. I don't want to like go on this for too long. I think they should include her backstory and try to understand her. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just like include the backstory, include some backstory at least. Like Utsuro and Akane in DRA1 don't have a lot of backstory in DRA1, but they don't need it. Like you understand it pretty, you get the gist. And to be honest, that goes for quite a few villains in you don't even particularly need backstory. Like even if you just characterize them well enough, like Case of the Golden Idol and Rise of the Golden Idol show that you don't need like extensive backstories for everyone to make compelling characters. You can still, well, I mean, Rise of the Golden Idol has a lot of really interesting characters, and you basically get just a few snapshots of, you get like maybe about a dozen and a half snapshots of these characters' lives over the course of the course of the entire game, and yet you can still glean so much from them. It also hurts characters around her like Mukuro. Yeah, and I'm also gonna say, and to be honest, Mukuro does suffer from the whole. Mukuro does suffer from the whole. You have to read supplementary material to understand her. Word of warning: I have never read Danganronpa IF, and I don't really plan to. It's just not something I'm particularly interested in. I'm sorry. So we were forced into the killing game Utsuro went through, because the 79th class was already dead. So we were used as alternatives or substitutes, in other words. Yes, Yuri here, Yoriko, as well as everyone else were in the same situation. Huh? What's with the serious face, Sora? No, that can't be it. There's gotta be something more? Yoriko and everyone else were kidnapped by Mikado. What? There's more? Remember, I'm always on your side. Oh, wait. Oh, maybe... Okay, my guess is that, like, she gets dismembered again, and then her head is my guess is, like, she gets shrunk, put inside a freaking Zorb ball, and then gets used in a game of giant, billiards, and then all that's left of her is just a Zorb ball filled with her blood. Remember, I'm always on your side. I don't remember I haven't looked at I didn't look too deeply into the unused executions, actually. I'd have to look at them again. The character sheets, I mean. I want to help you, Sora. Please, tell me how you feel. If you can't do that, then Hey, are you two fighting? This isn't exactly the right time for this. Yorko, I trust you, but we're still not completely out of Void's plan yet. That's true. It's very painful for me. If I remember now, I'd just be stuck with the same painful memory, and I couldn't move forward. So I'll tell you as soon as we get out of here. Sora, I know that you're angry, but just this once, can we stop this? Besides, we just lost each other recently. I don't want to fight you. Yeah, I know Kanata was supposed to be Chapter 2's killer originally, and that her order got shuffled around. I personally think that having a Yame... I think that the final version was... I think that the final version is ultimately going to be better than what we would have gotten. It just wouldn't... Because, like, we already had an unsympathetic killer for me in Mitsuhiro. I feel the same. I don't want to fight with you either, Sora. Well, you're right. Confessing your sins isn't exactly an easy task. I was being too forward. I'm sorry, Sora. No, you're not. Good, good. Glad you've both made up. Such a touching friendship. You always manage to get along so well. Due to last ball was bomb. Okay. Stop being nosy like that waiter at that restaurant. You're free from Mikado now, right? And you're still poking your beak into other people's business. Sorry. Force of habit. Monocro, there's nothing else about Kokoro, right? Yes, to tell you the truth, she is an unusual case. If you're ready to move on to the next singularity, shall we go? Wait, Monocro, how long are we going to do this for? Until we've taken care of all the singularities. The previous two singularities were at the crime scenes, right? So should the next one be the ghost house? Oh, right. Well, if it's the crime scene, wouldn't that be the pool? So if the singularities are at the crime scenes, there should be 3 more left? Correct. What are we going to do after it's all over? About that, I don't know. What? I know I keep saying this, but I don't know everything. I don't know more than I know. All I can do is show you the profiles and give you an approximate indicator of the events. It's up to you to decide what to do after that. What? Well, I guess we were leaving everything to Monocro. It goes in-depth, going through throat and into her stomach. So she gets like a pike or something, like, stabbed through her throat and into her stomach? What the hell? Lanuge always makes the Chapter 2 execution so brutal with Emma and Ayame. Interesting to think about, because Lanuge did mention in Kanata's character sheet that he even had an execution plan before scrapping the idea, so I'm wondering if the unused execution was that. Oh, so, like, there was an idea for there was, like, an unused execution idea? Until a while I was calling you suspicious. I'm sorry, Monocro. I've said this before, I am only a tool. You do not need to apologize to me for anything. Yorko, let's save this for later. We have Yuki to find anyway, so let's focus on the information he's told us. Yeah, let's do that. It just feels so dizzy every time we move, it's horrible. I always see this blue screen and, like, these rotating arrows. Hikako Kurokawa. Yuri also had a horrible one, but it's more due to being in bad taste. Is it just sort of like... I mean, there's a couple of different ways to take that. Like, is it actually potentially offensive or something? Also, didn't Setsuga's head explode at the end? I don't remember. What the hell? The sin I committed back then. What I want to say to Yoriko. Was this really right? No, I shouldn't be asking that now. The investigation comes first. Yoko Kurokawa, and that's it. she's managed to wrap so many people around her finger that people don't believe she's the killer. That was definitely something that I feel was wasted, that was like missed potential. Especially given that Angie was really driving the story forward at that point. Who else? I think that's everyone. I mean Himiko. I guess Himiko could have like an interesting. Granted, I don't think it really fits her character, but I think Himiko just using a literal magic trick for a killing could be interesting. But that's about all I've got as far as the survivors. And, of course, there's Miyu with her whole virtual world thing. So I guess there's more than I thought. Dizzy again. Is it just me or is the landscape breaking even more? It's because there's a lot of data to be processed. You'd best hurry. Now this way, please. Huh? There's 3 capsules. Well, it's for Setsuka and the twins. So following the pattern so far... Oh, I see. So I'm guessing the twins are being included because they aren't members of Void. These mechanical devices are at the singularities, and the dead are in the places where they died? That is correct. That's weird. The only one who died in the ghost house was Setsuka, but the twins are here. So why weren't Hajime and Emma at the first 2? Because they're Voids, I assume. Well, that's right, but these pods are for the victims, not criminals. And to the same extent, the twins here are also victims. Well, that's... one of them's a victim, one of them is Hellspawn. What's wrong? Are there ghosts? There's somebody behind the pillar. Where the hell am I? How do we get out? I'm just gonna... I hate you, Mikado. I hate you, Mikado. Iroha? Ah! I'm sorry, Mikado. Please forgive me. Sora and Yoriko. It has been a while, Miss Nijiue. Monocro. What are you doing here? How did you get here? No matter how much I try to leave, I can't escape. The answer is simple. You cannot move between coordinates because you are not an administrator. I brought these 2 here myself. Well, certainly looks like you're back to normal. Then, can I go home now? After all you've done, that's all you have to say? Get her. Yeah, get her! Oh yeah, why is Iroha not... I mean, I guess it's because she's a Void, but why is she not, you know, in her post, appearance? In her, like, adult appearance? It hurts! Miss Yoriko, violence is against the... no, I am no longer a teacher. The rules do not matter. Why are you overreacting? Sora, you should be just as mad as me. You haven't even shouted at her. She cooperated with Mikado and helped kill Teruya. She almost got us all killed. I'm sorry. Stop it, Yoriko. We can't change what happened. There's something I want to ask her. Ow, it hurts. Iroha, I know you were on Mikado's side, but that doesn't matter anymore. I can understand why you did what you did. Even after Hajime was betrayed, you couldn't give up on the plan. Because you were desperate. You had to reach your heaven again. My heaven? How do you know about divine luck? Just shut up and listen! But now that you've come this far, you should know now. Mikado Sonoji only sees you as a tool. So even now, you have another choice. Join Mikado again. Or you could give us a chance. What do you say? Join Mikado, or give us a chance. What do you say? What's a Dangan hot take that wants to make Maki ask, do you want to die? I'll go first. Kanade should have been a Void. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have... It really depends. I don't think I really have one. I'm sorry, I'm not very, I'm not a very... I feel like I don't really have that, strange of takes, at least not usually. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be of much help to you there. I wanted to join you with the school rules. Yeah, and when did those happen? The school rules? It was when Nikke died. If you betray Void, you get killed yourself. Do you really think I stuck to Mikado because I liked him? I couldn't do anything. The school rules were only added after Shinji died and the trial was over. So why? Why didn't you reveal yourself when Nikkei did? Explain that one, Iroha! That's because... Pickles! Alright, calm down, Yorko. This isn't the time or the place to have this argument. We're not completely innocent either. You kind of tried to kill too. Now's not the time to feel guilty. With much more prompting, to be honest, Sora. But whatever. Really? What? Why are you Shuichi, but, and like, for me, the answer to that question would be, what if Shuichi was in the Somnium Files? Yeah, if I was Mikado, I wouldn't give the important information to a kid like you. Well, what's that supposed to mean? Come to think of it, Monocro, you said you can freely administer this world, right? Well, technically yes, but not 100%. Mikado has not given me all of the permissions here. Then is it possible to recover the note that Setsuka left? Huh? A note? Oh, you mean the one Kanade burned? Yes, Kanade said something like, "What's the amazing note left by Setsuka?" I want to know what it said. The contents might have something we can use against Mikado. Now, Monocro, can you retrieve the note? Good thinking, Sora. That's a great idea. I remember it, Sora. Of course I can. You're talking about the note Miss Kanade burned during the third trial, correct? Mistress of Hellfire that she is. Please wait a few moments. Well done! Sora, if we find out the clues that Setsuka left behind, we can have a new weapon on our side. When I saw Setsuka, it suddenly came into my mind. Now that's a fanfiction AU waiting to happen. God, Setsuka and Boss, I think, would get along really well. I mean, I know that I've compared them many times, but yeah, Setsuka and Boss, and to be honest, Setsuka and Ryuki as well, would probably get along really well. Hello? What are you? There is no backup for that data. The recovery will be impossible. What? Why? You managed to restore the burnt monocruise, so what's the problem? Actually, speaking of Danganronpa and the Somnium Files fanfiction, I actually, this was a while ago, I actually wrote a bit of a piece for the V3 survivors and also Sanosuke Izuyoi of all characters, where they all visit a location that is in the Somnium Files. There's no actual relation to the Somnium Files itself, other than the location and, like, also a sort of lip service to Kaname Date, even though, although it could theoretically be anyone. But, yeah. I don't know, I just feel like, I don't know, I always like the idea of, like, the survivors, the V3 survivors just going to a shrine like that to clear their heads. You may... That is possible because there was existing backup data. The data on Miss Chibukuro's note has been deleted. The only thing I can think of is Mikado himself deleted the data, or... It's ridiculous. It obviously was something important that he had to remove it. Well, there's a lot of things we don't know about Mikado. Well, I thought I could be of great help. I apologize. It's not your fault. I guess it wouldn't just be that easy. But Sora, there's nothing we can say to Monocro that will change anything. For now, we need to do what we can. Sora, you're being strangely calm. Unfortunately, it was just as I said, there was nothing we could do. What we've been able to gain from this is that Setsuka was commissioned by the Kisaragi Foundation. At this point, neither Monocro or Iroha knew much at all. If we can escape this virtual world, maybe I should ask somebody in the Foundation about her, about what kind of requests she received and what info she had on Mikado. I hope I can find out. Favorite character in the Another series? Honestly, I'm not sure. Like, especially, it's a very hard question to answer, especially since we're so close to the end of SDRA2, and there's still quite a few characters left who I haven't seen all the free time events of. And the free time events, like seeing the free time events in full are large parts of why I like the characters I do. So, once again, like, I'm probably still going to default to any of the DRA1, like either Tsurugi, Teruya, or Rei from DRA1. Although I will say Setsuka Setsuka and Shinji, and even Nikke, to be honest, are all contenders now. God, the tier list. God, if I ever make, I don't know if I'm gonna make a tier list, but if I do, it's gonna be a challenge. Anyway. Inside the machine was a little different, but still recognizable women sleeping quietly. Hibiki and Kanade don't look that different. Well, they definitely look like adults compared to their young look before. Hibiki, and I don't want to even face the thing next to her. Iroha, did Void even know Kanade was a serial killer? I had no idea. I don't even understand what a person like that was doing in the plan in the first place. And when we met with Mikado, the plan was already set. Only Mikado knew the criteria for the personnel. All of them were just Mikado's puppets. What did you expect? Don't blame Iroha too much. The rest of Void was just used by him. First of all, let's open the profile. Read it for yourself. Said that because they would be difficult people to capture and everybody knew them. Well, kidnapping not one, but two celebrities wouldn't have been easy. How the hell does he have so much nonsense intelligence? If you think about it, we really didn't know anything about Mikado. The mastermind behind the killing game, the leader of Void. Even during the killing game, we couldn't find out his true intentions. We were just doing nothing. So now that we can investigate as freely as possible, being left alone gives me a weird sense of incongruity. Sora, have we unlocked all the reset codes? Yes. It's just as Monokura said, the reset code initializes the restoration of tampered data. Iroha wasn't an avatar like me, she was always like this. Huh? Why am I being mentioned? If that's right, Sora, even when you've used the reset codes on Voids, it's safe to assume their appearance won't change. Yorko, I know what you're implying. That I'm a Void too? Huh? Well, I'm not 100% sure yet. But it would only make sense since your reset code works the same as the Voids. I agree with you. As Yorko said, my amnesia hasn't gone, even after the reset code has been released. The fact... Yeah, it is, and... I don't know, I feel like I've already talked about her, enough. I don't know where exactly we're headed here, but, yeah. I suppose it is meant to, like, go along with the commentary that talent doesn't automatically mean good person, you know? Sora, you thought Akane Taira was dead. Maybe something got lost in the process. I'm not sure right now. Maybe Mikado was aiming to release Akane Taira. You're in a different position to me, though, since you're one of the next generation hopes like Yuri. I'm curious about something. What is it? Who exactly is Akane Taira? Huh? Iroha, you don't know who she is? Huh? This is the first time I've heard that name. Is that Sora's real name? What the hell are you talking about? The Voids knew more information about the Killing Game participants. That's how Nikkei knew about Setsuka's eyes. So how don't you know about Sora? Well, unlike everyone else, I didn't get any information on Sora. When I asked about you, Mikado just told me you were a participant. Just a participant? Really? Actually, I didn't even know her name in the first place. So I'd like to ask, who are you, Sora? Sora's real name is Akane Taira. Like you, Void, she was one of the children who was helped by Utsuro. Oh. Ah! Sora! Well, I guess she really didn't know. You're not lying? Why would I lie about it? My name is Akane, and I was with Utsuro in his last moments. What? You were with Utsuro when he died? Oh, shut up! I'm gonna go deaf! So you really are part of the Children of Utsuro. Children of Utsuro? Oh, it's just a name we called each other to the other children Utsuro looked after. In other words, Void. Mikado Sonoji called it Void. Originally, Nikkei was the leader, and it was a small group instead of an organization. We didn't have another name. And as soon as Mikado joined, he said that the Children of Utsuro was over. Please, give us the details. Sora, you should already know if you really were a member. Utsuro didn't just help one or two people, and when he died, our divine luck disappeared. With that, our talents disappeared. One funny thing is that both Kanade and Tsurugi's main personality plot twists weren't planned and was in Tsurugi, and was added in. Tsurugi's twist in Chapter 1 was added in whilst Lanuge was almost finished with Chapter 1. And Kanade's personality is an added thing whilst Lanuge finished the prologue and her original personality was timid and not an act. I see. Yeah, because, like, that stuff definitely felt... Never mind. So, I wonder what led Lanuge to, like, changing all that. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think that it definitely made for a better story. As a result of that, according to Mikado, they died. That makes sense. Nobody would notice if you were... So are you saying that the Void's received a lot of protection, meaning it's disappearing more slowly? Oh, that's what I was trying to say, thank you. Wait a minute, that reminds me of something. Hey, Roho, you finally made a half-coherent point. It doesn't matter. Anyways, this is just a virtual world. And you are Akane Taira. Doesn't matter if you're just her avatar or not. I'm sure you have some sort of relationship with her. So that means Mikado Sonoji also knows about Akane Taira. Yeah, I think so too. Like, Korekio... I mean, Korekio obviously has a few screws loose, even just by, talking to him at first. But I feel like his, I feel like they don't really go enough... I mean, it's as... We had the same discussion at the Chapter 3 trial. They don't really, like... If they were going to do that with him, they should have played it straight. And, you know, made sure that, like, it was very... There was, like, no questioning. Granted, it is harder in his situation because he's the victim instead of the abuser. So it means that he may not be as aware of what was happening. Why did he try to conceal that information? In Tsurugi's case, it was a sudden idea Lanuge decided to add in, and he changed Kanari's character after stumbling upon Korekiyo. He was in the military at the time, so he had to watch spoilers for V3 to not clash with the canon cases. Oh, I see. So he wanted to have this fit in with the rest of the games even afterwards? I mean, I will say I'm glad that Tsurugi ended up having that change, because I feel like he would have been a much less interesting character. Maybe his free time events were still the same all the way through, but he probably wouldn't have been as interesting without. He definitely wouldn't be as interesting without his turn. Either that, or he'd end up having to be a death like much earlier on. Mikado Sonoji tried to cover up Akane? Huh? Why would Shobai know? How would Shobai know that? I know this isn't anything with Korekiyo's character, but also Kanai's actually smart and her plan was actually genius. Korekiyo was made dumb because we gotta kill 2 people. The thing is, like, Korekiyo's plan was actually smart. Like, especially where he actually managed to, even though he was caught completely unaware, he ended up creating an impossible murder scenario. But then he just does another thing entirely. And, like, even disregarding his, murder plan, like, he's actually, like, as an actual character, especially in anthropology, obviously, he is an intelligent character, certainly. I bet Lanuge didn't realize V3 doesn't follow canon games, and it's weird, yeah. How did you know that? Mikado was the only one in Void who knew about Akane. Mikado knew about Akane and hid it. Shobai knew information about Void that Iroha herself didn't know. Lanuge didn't want the mystery cases to clash. Oh, I see. He didn't want them to be too similar. So he looked at the cases to check if anything was too similar. Gotcha. I wonder what happened. Iroha. Well, what do you want? Don't worry about what happened. It's in the past. But why did you knock me off the Tower of Babel? Ah! Oh, no. That wasn't me, sorry. It was somebody else. I sinned, I'm so sorry. Well, at the time, Mikado was threatening me, so I couldn't help it, so... So you were pressured to kill by him? Yeah, I really didn't want to. Honest, if I didn't, Mikado would have killed me. There's no need to tremble like that. I don't blame you, Iroha. I have no intention of looking down on you. Huh? But if you died... Let's not think like that. In the end, you ended up helping me get my memories back. What do you want about? It doesn't matter. I'll tell you later. But if you truly feel sorry about it, you can always make it up to me later. Of course. Come to think of it, I have a question for you. Oh, what is it? You said it when you talked to Yoriko earlier, right? About Utsuro's children, each of which received help from Utsuro as a child, and gained divine luck. I feel like his original murder plan seemed very stupid. Yeah, it was definitely too easy to trace back to him, certainly. Because, like, you have this absurdly ridiculous setup with 3 other witnesses in a dark room that you end up... And then suddenly a select person ends up dead. Meanwhile, you're steering the decisions... Meanwhile, they're steering your decisions. I think you could easily say that Korekiyo was just given a case of idiot ball in V3. He was at least smart and, like, even after being discovered that he was Tenko's killer, he did manage to deflect from being, Angie's killer for a good while. Like the Scrum debate, in the Scrum debate, he actually manages to come up with some actually pretty good points for it. So in many ways, it matches up with Void, so does that include you? Oh, yes. Well, in the case of me, I needed acknowledgement from the people around me. You wanted recognition? You know how my family is known for being a generation of famous artists. My mother, my father, my sister, and my brother, all of them were full of talent, and I was drawing doodles. It was only me who couldn't do anything. Painting, sculpting, designing, whatever I did, I was always mediocre at. I couldn't fit into the first-class family. You even deceived us with your art abilities. That's why I was given divine luck. I wanted to be acknowledged by my family, by the world. That's all I wanted.
After I met Utsuro, I joined the Nijiue family like the others, and I became a great painter.
So your painting ability was granted from divine luck. Is that why you joined Void? Because your talent began to disappear?
Yes.
But of course you know, you had to commit crimes in Void, including murder.
If I'm not talented, I don't deserve to be alive. Of course I knew it was criminal. but you wouldn't understand.
Calm down, Iroha. I'm not trying to judge you. I am.
Sora. Before meeting Utsuro, I was nothing. There was no other way.
Huh?
Me, who could only draw small little mediocre drawings, was a big shame to my family name. So that's why they hid me from the public. Everyone knows me as the youngest daughter of the Nijiue family. But the cover-up story was that I had a mental illness, so I couldn't move my body. This allowed them to keep me in the house without anybody asking questions.
What kind of family is this? Isn't that kind of what Hikikomori is? Is like just the you know, like it's like a Japanese phenomenon where people with disabilities are just kept at home, basically out of the public eye. But I am glad we're getting this information without having to dig into Iroha's free time events.
Of course, my life wasn't affected that much. I had 3 meals a day, and it wasn't an uncomfortable place. But except for eating and sleeping, I was just stuck there, painting in my room, drawing and drawing. And I couldn't go outside, and I had 24-hour employee surveillance. If I tried to do something else or run away, my parents would have been contacted right away. And after that, punishment time.
It sounds like what happened at the Tower of Babel a few days ago.
Guess what? The Tower of Babel felt better than staying in my room. The roughness.
Wow.
I was so young at that time. I just wanted to die. But for a timid person like me, there's no way I could kill myself. You're imprisoned until you're able to live up to our family name. That was the rules.
You know, I know I made the comparison to, I know I made the comparison of Nikkei being like Revolver Ocelot, but, this is kind of, like, I kind of feel like Void as a whole, they feel a little bit like, granted I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 1, but they do sound like the rogue members of Foxhound from that game in some ways. I'm gonna keep making. I don't care. I'm gonna keep making the Nikkei Ocelot comparisons, but like, you could argue that Utsuro is like Liquid. You could argue that like Utsuro is freaking Liquid Snake or something. But yeah, and I guess Emma Magarobi would be Decoy Octopus. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember all the. I don't know a lot of them very well. Hajime, I guess, could be Vulcan Raven. Shit, who else is there? I actually don't know who Mikado would be. I guess Mikado could... I guess Liquid... I guess Liquid could pull double duty for Mikado and Utsuro. You can now understand why she's extremely dumb now. She was made that way by her parents. Yeah. Thank you, Daisukuma, for pointing that out. I actually don't think I would have noticed that until a long time afterward. Let's see... Who would Sniper Wolf be? Yeah, I don't know. None of them really fit Sniper Wolf, I don't think. Actually, Iroha would be very hard to fit into Foxhound. Iroha's backstory reminds me of Satsuki's family. The difference between them is that Satsuki's family focused on choosing a single talented child to become the ringmaster of the circus, and Iroha's focused on raising every child as a talented individual for the family's reputation, and that Satsuki had Keisuke who loved her, and Iroha had no one. That's an interesting comparison, yeah.
Do you think I improved? I tried.
Didn't you say that you liked manga?
Yes, I enjoyed it since I was young, but after I was imprisoned I couldn't even touch it. My family doesn't see manga or cartoons as art.
Bullshit.
I was only allowed to watch anime when I was blessed by the heavens. I got so much love from my family after that.
The heavens opened up. Divine luck.
Sora, you were blessed too, so you should understand. If you were to go back to how you were before you met Utsuro, and if you could somehow stop it, you'd have made the same choice I did.
Would I? I thought Akane died with Master Utsuro. If Utsuro died, that means, like Iroha, would I try to do anything to revive the luck? One could view him as the leader of the group. Even without the connection to the 79th class, Mikado would have chosen him, I assume. There are also more instances where the older participants have generational differences when it comes to some information. I guess there's examples of that in the game. It's just like general dialogue stuff. Well, is this roughly about it for Shinji? Yes, there's not much more to say. Let's move on. According to the rules so far, the Twin Towers are next, right? Well, I mean, this is the last singularity.
Huh? What do you mean?
As Yorko stated, the twins were at the other murder site, so Teruya is the only one remaining. To be honest, I'm not sure if we can properly investigate him. Why's that? Unlike you, who are using a genuine connector from the Neo-World program, Teruya's entrance was made from another location.
This is too confusing.
It's an easy-to-understand explanation. All of you right now are lying in the same room in reality. The Neo-World program is quite bulky. Because of this, the connection has to be concentrated in one room. By the way, Teruya wasn't part of Mikado's plan from the beginning. He and the other Kisaragi member accessed the program through alternative methods. You're talking about Rei. Rei entered the same way.
Wait, Monocro, there's a contradiction. Sora said she met that Rei girl in the Tower of Babel. But she was obviously burned to ashes on her first day in the killing game. If death in the virtual world is death in the real world, how the hell is she alive?
Miss Mikaru is alive. Someone tell Noah.
Monocro said the connector's different, right? Maybe that one doesn't cause death.
No, even if the connection method is different, the program connects directly to the brain, as evidenced by Teruya being completely dead. But God, poor Teruya. Interesting, how is Miss Mikaru alive? I don't know for sure.
Can't we just ask her directly when we enter the real world?
Problem solved. Any more questions? I'd like to leave. I really do not like this place. I might go rampant if I stay here too long.
You're really desperate. Do you hate this place that bad?
I'm kind of glad the writing decision to make Yorko react harshly to Iroha because it feels earned and justified. Oh, definitely, absolutely. Like you definitely have to have consequences, and like characters calling each other on their shit are important. It's one reason. It's a criticism I've heard. I haven't watched season 4 of Disventure Camp. I keep meaning to. I just haven't gotten around to it because part of me wants, because the spreadsheet nerd in me wants to edgic all the seasons for some reason. But yeah, it's apparently characters not getting called out for bad things they do or getting no consequence for them is is apparently a problem in season 4 and even season 3, to be honest. For example, when heard of Otori Mart, which is a huge mart brand that influences the economy of Japan, Shinji doesn't know what it is. Yoriko says she saw one near her house. Kanade says it's a pretty famous brand. Yuki, who's the youngest and shares the same age demographic with Teruya, immediately recognizes it. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you wouldn't know. I just feel worrisome. Anyway, when you're ready to head to the last area, just talk to me.
Wait, the next one is the last? Sora?
There were 5 killings you experienced in this game, so the singularity's numbers will be the same.
The people who have died so far. Yuri, Kokoro, Setsuka, the twins, Shinji. 6 people in total. Of the 16 participants, there were 5 voids and only 10 normal students. Of the remaining 5 left, Yorko's the same as the dead symbols, and I'm Akane Taira. Yuki's the void's purpose itself. Then all that remains... What about Teruya and Shobai? Teruya belonged to the Kisaragi Foundation and was captured trying to rescue us. What about Shobai? Surely he can't be a symbol.
Shobai is quite irregular, you could say.
Yoriko had a hard time comprehending the VR, AR, BCI stuff because when she was in high school, technology was probably less developed. Ah. You don't have to say it, Monocro. I'll ask my friend. Iroha, I'm talking about you.
Me? Well, I'm not sure. Shobai, what do I know about him?
Don't lie to my face. I can tell that you're lying, you know. You're terrible at it.
You should be... Because there you have... Setsuka also said the twins' band name wrong. Mellow Risen. Huh. Did you know about the identity of Shobai?
Yes? No? By the way, can I say...
You said you'd help us. The least you can do is answer a few questions. Or what? I guess there's still no redemption for you voids.
Yoriko, what are you trying to say? Please be nice to me.
You start being nice and I'll be nice. And stop screaming at me. I'm older. Treat me with respect. Girls, you're both pretty. Now calm down. Oh, Sora.
Shobai was our Void's collaborator.
What? Collaborator? Wait, Nikke said something like that at the Tower of Babel. No, it's true that Void only has 5 members, but that's not all there is to it. Huh? Rumor has it that there's a mysterious collaborator that helped with our plans. A collaborator, you say? Go on. No one other than Mikado knows about this person. I've only heard about their existence, that's all. Wait, wasn't Nikke lying about that?
It's not a lie. We knew who the collaborator was. It's Shobai. Don't misunderstand. I don't know what Shobai was supposed to do. The only person who knows what the collaborator was actually doing was Mikado.
Interesting. I mean, I guess that kind of had to be the case, considering that Shobai showed no real signs of changing throughout the game. So, yeah. Yorgo definitely had one of the easier times understanding VR, AR, and BCI. Like she was like the character who, I guess the way you could explain it is that Yoriko is like the person. Yoriko's kind of like Lotus in the sense that like she understands Lotus from Zero Escape in terms of like a certain. I'm not going to give too much away, but like there's a certain scene. Well, to be honest, this is kind of the case with a lot of Zero Escape scenes. You'll have characters talking about like theoretical technology and pseudoscience. And so that was basically like that scene where Yoriko's explaining what BCI is like very Zero Escape. For now, there's nothing else for us to do here. Let's go and find Yuki. Mikado, the Kisaragi Foundation, all of our problems are about to come together. We need a plan. You're right. I want to get this over with quickly and have a lay down. Yeah, okay, This might be the last scene I go through, just because we are getting close. We are at 2.5 hours now. May we please get out of here? I can feel my rampancy getting worse. Oh, that feels much better. We've arrived. The final place in the error program. It's a singularity, but not a singularity. It's the 5th singularity.
Is this Higa City's Twin Towers?
We've come full circle.
Sora.
Sora, what's wrong? Oh no. What's wrong with me? I got chills and goosebumps the moment I stepped foot in here. It's different from just dizziness. It's a weird sensation that's hard to explain. Are you all okay? She thought Nikke was... Yoriko thought Nikke was lying when he said the program was BCI. Ah, okay. What? I feel a bit dizzy, but I'm used to it the 4th time around.
Is there something wrong?
No. I'm fine, don't worry. Was I fine? Why am I the only one who felt that? That feeling's immediately setting off warning sirens in my head. Well, as you all know, Teruya must be here, somewhere. As I said, he's connecting differently to this world, however. I cannot conclude if his data is still intact or not until I see him myself.
So, where is he?
He's probably in the warehouse. Now wait a minute. Sora? I'm not sure what it is, but there's something there. I feel danger coming from that warehouse.
What do you mean?
Miss Sora, I don't know what you mean, but if we don't go through this door, you cannot see Yuki.
Wait, Yuki's in there?
No, don't. Oh, what's my problem? It's like that sensation I had during the 3rd class trial. I'm hesitating because I can't figure out what this creepy sensation is. Sudutsuro? Suddenly, something began to move. Sora, you can feel it too, can't you? The sign.
Ah! Who's there?
Mikado. Oh dear. It's been a while, you damn fools. Surviving like cockroaches. I guess I should congratulate you. This plan should have ended much earlier, but seeing as it's a stupid-ass plan, I've disregarded it for now. The person who opened the warehouse door was Mikado Tsunoji. I could never forget a horrid face like that. A face that only a mother could love. As if his previous attire wasn't creepy enough, his new mask and shape takes it to a whole new level. And there was someone in his arms. Yuki!
Ah! He's finally made his appearance!
Mikado! What? Don't kill us! Don't be so cautious. I have no intention of taking your life.
What? You just tried to shamelessly execute us!
That is simply because you reached the wrong conclusion. What did you do to Yuki? What did I do to him? I didn't do anything. This is all your fault he's like this. What? Do not worry. He's alive. Just unconscious. That's a cool effect on him. By the way, something unexpected has happened. Quite embarrassing. And despite you not knowing my plan, you brought them all here, Monocro. Oh, I decline to comment.
What plan? Monocro, you?
No, do not rush to conclusions. I'm your ally, not your enemy. Mikado, I don't know what you're planning, but I am no longer under your control. This must be the limit of your usefulness. What? Unfortunately, your role has ended a long time ago. No matter how important you were, I can't have you flying around doing what you want. I have no choice but to deal with you myself. Huh! After saying that, Mikado began to raise his hand and draw a magic circle. Yeah, they are some cool sprites. Burn.
Monocro!
Hi, Golem. I think you came back at a good time. A sharp spear of flames created by Mikado just pierced through Monocro's tiny body. The spear burned brightly and began to explode Monocro's body from within. Ugh, Mikado. No. No way. I can't. From the beginning, Red-hot debris flew all across the walls and floor as it melted. Monocro's body was completely destroyed.
Monocro!
Ha! Rest well, Monocro. He was only a substitute for the far more useful Monokuma anyway, just a simple AI. You. Now that the side characters are gone, shall we move to the final act? What else do you have planned? We already have our memories back and know the full truth now. We won't fit into your plan anymore. I also find it interesting that I assume the reasoning for it is pretty clear. Yoriko's the one character who isn't a void or a child of Utsuro, or is an objective who has been reverted, who has survived up to this point. So she's the only next-gen symbol of hope still here. So let us out of here immediately! I will let you go. Stop being dramatic. It's over now anyway. Didn't I say? I have no intention of taking any more lives.
Really?
Except for yours. Well, I will admit, according to the original plan, you all should have been executed and died. However, since things turned out like this, a revision of the plan was needed. I will now spare your lives accordingly. Wouldn't you say it makes sense? Do you really think we'd trust you that easily? Y'all didn't care for Monocro before this chapter, yet you're saddened by the AI's death? Well, it's because he was helping them. Like, wouldn't you be sad about it? If you really don't intend to harm us, hand over Yuki. What? I'm sorry. What did you say? I think I heard you wrong. You wouldn't ask for that. Let's not let us comrades fight. Someone like you.
Mikado, your avatar seems to have changed a bit. Nothing like that happened to us, and your avatar seems broken.
Okay, good. I will return Yuki to you, but I cannot at the moment. I will when we are finished. Not only that, I will let you return to your peaceful daily lives with no harm. I also find it interesting how there's a bit of a duality with Mikado's design compared to his main one. Because that one, the right side of his face is covered by the mask, which is very expressive, and the left side is completely expressionless all the time, whereas here it's reversed. And I swear on my name. And let me guess, your real name isn't Mikado, so that means nothing. Mikado began to shout with an obscene gesture. Countless times we've been tricked by his speeches. There's something wrong here. He's got to be lying. In the end, looks like our killing school trip has been extended. As long as Mikado, the masked man who planned this all, doesn't let us, there's no hope of escape. Like when Rei was burned on the first day, fragments of Monocro are still scattered everywhere. Even though this was a virtual world, the smell of burning felt real, like it was breaking our will of resistance. Our options were slowly disappearing from us, little by little. What do you want us to do? If I am honest, the rest of the plan from now on will be improvised. Strictly speaking, my plan was 99% successful. The 1% did fail, as they should, probably due to outside interference, but that matters not to me. I have insurance. Master Utsuro. Has Yuki already been taken over by Utsuro? Is it not possible for the original Yuki to come back? Sora... An amazing question. The simple answer is yes. You have nothing to worry about. As you all know, Void's plan is the resurrection of divine luck. To do that, we need to resurrect Utsuro. However, that doesn't necessarily mean we have to sacrifice Yuki. What do you mean? Do you not understand? In other words, Utsuro can be revived with divine luck, and Yuki can be brought back to live his own life. A happy ending where everyone wins. Isn't this what you want? There's no need to fight each other, right? That's ridiculous. There can't be such a happy ending. If that was possible, why would you put us all through the killing game? Is there a need for me to answer all your questions? Everything I say is true. The choice is yours in the end. You can have your happy ending or not.
Is this really true?
Mikado has medical insurance. That's how he's going to revive Utsuro? Ha ha.
Iroha, don't believe him too. But I can't help it. Monokuro tried to resist and look how he turned out. We can't beat him. Also, if Mikado planned to kill us, he would have already done so. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but... Yoriko, it's okay. It doesn't matter if he's lying or not. If we don't follow him, he will just kill us. If that's true, we should accept it.
Sora!
Mikado, if you betray us, no matter what happens, I won't let you escape. I will attack you head-on, take back everything you've taken from us, and stop your plans. Fine by me. Magic! Fine, but this is the last time I'm going along with his plans. What should we do from now on? Let's see. From now on, we're going to work on completing the last 1% of the plan. It's simple. What I want you to do is the same as what you did during the Killing School trip. A class trial. The final class trial.
Another class trial?
Originally, the 5th class trial should have been the last. No, the plan should have been finished after that. The last judgment ended up in disaster, so if we wish to get the good ending, we have to try again. Magic! Magic! Damn it! That means someone else has to die after all. Oh, do not mistake my words. We will not be discussing a murder case. We will discuss the truth. Specifically, my plan. About Void's plans, the Killing School trip, and the next generation's symbols of hope. You came here with Monokuro and collected information on the way, correct? Mikado, are you asking us to figure out your plan? Put it together, the plan I've worked my whole life for. If you discover the truth, I will let you live. And if you fail...
If we fail...
It shouldn't matter regardless of the outcome. You have the rest of your life to do it.
What? That means we have to remain here forever?
I value results over everything else. No matter how perfect the process is, if the result is a disaster, it would all be in vain. Ironically, the class trial is more of a process in itself than a result. Even the process of making a class trial itself is a result.
Well, what are you talking about?
Does that mean you don't care about what we do in the class trial? Can I continue what I was saying? You just need to clear the class trial and my plan will be complete.
What should we do, Sora? Doesn't it sound suspicious? There must be something up. Sora, you said you were going to attack Mikado head-on. Any plans?
No, I don't have a plan.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
For Mikado, it's the same. His plan should be ruined. Actually, this is because of some outside interference. Who in the real world is trying to sabotage him? Maybe someone from the Kisaragi Foundation? As long as we're in the virtual world, all we can do is wait for someone to come help us. But if they could help, wouldn't they have before? But if they could help, wouldn't they have done that before? I guess we have to believe in whoever it was.
No, the Kisaragi Foundation must have done it. I don't think we would have survived the execution without them. This means the Foundation's finally acting, and it's proof they won't let Mikado escape. But why are they acting so late? Is this going to be a tough fight? I don't exactly know what Mikado's after, or why the Kisaragi Foundation's helping us. I think this is the best we can do for now.
What should I do? One option after another.
No tactical meeting. Well, it's decided. Let's move immediately. Now, with the sudden reboot, there's a lot of errors all over the place. This time, we're going straight to the final trial grounds. Let's go. This will be the end of everything.
The final trial grounds? Where's that?
That will be all. Follow me. It looks like cheese. Oh, the north side. This is a vacant spot in Higa City, so there should be nothing here. Originally, if you enter this place, you'd be in an infinite loop of a forest and eventually come back. But I have configured it to show a building in the vacant spot, as a failsafe in case the system reboots.
That building?
Yes, the final judgment room. Let's go. We went into the woods with Mikado without a word. Soon, the thick fog cleared, and the appearance of a huge tower began to appear. This has a very different feeling from the Tower of Babel, an overbearing feeling. What do you think? Is it grandiose enough for our finale? Is this the final judgment room? Was this prepared for an emergency, or were you always planning for this? I wouldn't say expected, I'd say prepared. Honestly, I'm quite happy to be revealing this. Even happier than I was when Nika confessed to being a void. However, my plan was already in motion. Being here makes me feel like there's nothing else to fail. How long are you planning to keep Yuki like that? Even if he's unconscious, do you plan to involve him in the class trial? Don't worry about that. When you arrive in the Judgment Tower, you will understand. God, it's empty in here. Finally the environment is worth seeing.
It doesn't look that different. The elevator's exactly the same.
This part is copy-pasted. However, unlike the last elevator, this one goes to the sky instead of underground. Oh, just like DRA1. A class trial in the sky whilst we admire the scenery. Wouldn't that be perfect for the final chapter, as my sprite begins to lose resolution? Okay now, that's it. Ta-da! Mikado snapped his fingers and the unconscious Yuki just disappeared.
Yuki? What? Where'd you send Yuki?
Yuki will take a special little role in the class trial. Special role? Don't you know, Yuki is key in Void's plan. That's what it means. His unconscious avatar is his vessel that will soon be resurrected. He cannot participate in the trial. So I pulled out the mind of Yuki and put it elsewhere. Also, where the hell is Shobai during all this? Is he just... I guess he isn't in the simulation anymore. Because otherwise Monocro probably would have mentioned him. Boat elevator?
What?
Didn't you say he was just unconscious? Oh, you don't have to worry, my friends. I did promise, remember? Yuki will be returned to you, and you can return to your peaceful daily life. There is no harm in you all living, so I don't mind. Anyway, Yuki is already in the trial grounds, being shown using a separate display. At the end of the trial, everything will go back to normal, so I ask you to focus carefully. Is there anything else you want to ask? I didn't think so. Now, are you ready, kids?
Yoriko, we have to do this. I know. Should we really be following his words so easily? I wonder if it's really the right thing to be doing, but if it's true Yuki's still alive, we have to do this. Yoriko, we need to join forces.
Wait, why wasn't I mentioned too? I'm with you too.
Oh, right. Why do I think that she's just going to betray us again?
I won't. I've definitely made up my mind.
Aren't you just doing this to stay alive? I can't hear you!
Of course not.
Like it or not, running away isn't an option. As Mikado said, this is the final chapter, the finale. The grand events around us start to push towards the end. Somehow I want to prolong this as long as possible, and hope somebody will come to intervene, because there's still a chance for us to fight back. Good, the elevator doors are open. Let us go to the final stage! For the last time. Oh! Who lives in an island in the middle of nowhere?
Mikado, were you telling the truth? Is it really true?
Of course! The bad things are now over. Now everything begins and ends with this elevator. I don't want to fight, but I will if I have to. So if anybody wanted a chance to attack, now would be the last time.
Oh, go fuck! Oh god, that scared me. Sorry.
Who lives on the monocros over the sea? Monocros feather something. Monocro feather something. Tsurugi. Huh? So that's it. I finally confirmed it with my own eyes. There's no need to rush anymore. Who? Due to the backlight, it was hard to see who it was. What happened? Where am I? No. I thought he died. What is this? That's Tsurugi. I don't know who's standing next to him. Kinjo on a wheelchair. Wheelchair? Maybe it's one of those, like, frickin' hover chairs that, like, the villains like using. I don't know who that is. I don't know who this guy's supposed to be. Is that Keisuke? Capsule device. Okay. Something wrong with his eye? It didn't take me long to realize that I was lying somewhere. There was a man looking down at me. Oh wait, is this Shobai? Are we playing as Shobai? That would make sense, I think. He was wearing a cap with a long brim covering his right eye. His sturdy physique was pale, and he rode around in a wheelchair as if he was somehow weak. Oh, he is in a wheelchair. This is the first time I see it. No, is this the first time I've seen it? 2, 4, 8... The background music. Yeah, this is quite a track. Somehow, it all looks familiar to me. And there are 2 open capsules. I don't know who those could be for. I guess Rei is one of them. This person.
Hi.
Keisuke, it's time. I'm waiting for Ryutaro. Yes, Director. Prepare the deployment of the crew. Tsurugi Kinjo! You're insane! It's been a while, Rei. It seems like you've had some troubles. I guess I'm right. Good. Just die! Don't keep punching until you do! Wait, Miss Makaru, stop! It's okay, Keisuke, but I should be the one speaking. I agree. First, we need a status check of the crew, then we need a briefing. I think the red eye is from the ending of DRA 1, and 2, he got saved by divine luck and it's wearing off. Yeah, I did think about that. Because Tsurugi was saved by divine luck, basically. Yes, sir. So, Rei, there seems to be a lot of things you need to tell me. Fuck you! Do you know the situation I'm in? That's what I want to ask. Huh? I apologize. You acted alone, hiding it all this time. It must have been embarrassing for you. Shobai. Wow, you sure came quick. All people inherited red eyes from Utsuro's luck. Huh. I don't know why that is. Is there an in-story is there like an in-story reason for that, or is that just like an aesthetic choice? It's you.
Oi.
About Mikado Sonoji. Is it done? Yeah. Director, you know I do something... Director, you know I do anything for money, but don't ask me to do something like that again. In the end, I ended up betraying my client Mikado, all for the sake of money. Are you trying to preach to me now? You're just a crook. Don't speak more than I ask you to. You're just a tool I bought with money. I see, so he's willing to work with Shobai. Interesting. Hi, Buccadeer. It's amazing how close we are to the end, at least in the grand scheme of things. You ain't wrong. I made this decision too. What? He was in the virtual world. Tsurugi, what the hell? Save it for later, Ray. There's more pressing matters at the moment. Do you even know what happens to Teruya? He's gone. He's dead. Really dead. You fucking shit motherfucker left him alone without knowing what to do. Ray actually mourning Teruya. But instead of relying on him, you sent someone else, you fucking bastard. What excuse are you going to come up with this time, huh? Try me. His death was a sacrifice for the future. Ray, don't forget, we're on active duty. Put your personal feelings aside. Isn't that your specialty? What should I do? Thank you, Ray. Shut up and give me orders! First of all, we need to secure the lives of the survivors who have awakened from the Neo World Program Mark II. What's going on? Oh, how long will I be lying here? I tried to stand up carefully. This whole body doesn't seem to have been used for a long time. The muscles are screaming in pain, but somehow I successfully moved my body. Oh yeah, Tsurugi went from... seemingly is going to go from bad to worse, I imagine. And at this rate, I don't even know if he's going to survive to the end of the game. Or at the very least, he probably won't live much longer. It's real sad. Looks like I'm being ignored. I should try to understand my situation some more. Oh, Sora! Honestly, from how Teruya talked about her, do you think they were possibly together? Maybe? I don't know. Hello there. Tsurugi. Wait, Mr. Kinjo. Sir Kinjo. What should I say? How long is he going to ignore me for? He's quite different from how I remember him, but I've certainly seen him before. He was one of the survivors from the killing game of the 79th class. The former ultimate police officer and chief of the Kisaragi Foundation, Tsurugi Kinjo. According to what Teruya said, so you're the leader of the Kisaragi Foundation. It's been quite a while now. Awkward. Director, squad's been deployed. What's the next order? Nice job. I'll start the briefing shortly. Where's Ryutaro? Probably with the intelligence team. The head of department put him there. Contact the communications team. No need, I'm already here. Ryutaro. Kinjo, what have you done? It's just as Ray always says. Despite being on the same team, you always do things your way. Even his hair got desaturated. Okay, I'm not an art expert, so can someone explain, like, what desaturation means, or saturation? Like, it always seems like there's, I thought saturation was, like, a bad thing. Like what's the deal with that? What's the deal with airline food? Ryutaro, why are you saying that? Foundation is also involved in this. Also, it's normal for him to decide what everybody does. He is the director, after all. So Teruya died without knowing anything? Kinjo, you knew full well that Teruya would follow your orders without hesitation. Ryutaro. Leave it, Keisuke.
Aye.
Ryutaro, I understand why you're angry, but save it for later. We're not done here yet. Also, we're working. Please address me as director or boss. Always working, Boss, have you ever thought of us as people? Less vibrant colors. So desaturation is, less color. Isn't that Sniper's sibling? Yes, the, Ryutaro is Kyoka's younger brother. And yeah, like, I don't mind, I don't mind, like, the, like, I don't necessarily mind these, like, character directions by themselves, but, you know, it's important to, like, not have too much of either, you know? Teruya was your friend! Have you seen the state of Ray right now? Saturated equals bright, colorful, aesthetic. Desaturated equals gray or less vibrant. Ryutaro Maki! What do you think you're doing? Miss Makaru. We're working, so there's no point saying meaningless words, remember? But... Ryutaro. I can't really tell the difference, personally. Maybe it's just because it's been a while since I've seen DRA1. I'll take a look. I guess it's, his hair is a lot paler. Especially in the lower sections. Excuse me. I'll start the briefing. I hope they stay quiet. Hey! What are they doing? Why are they arguing? Who are they in the first place? Are they members of the Kisaragi Foundation? Somebody explain. I've heard the DRA1 remake released its new intro movie. Ooh. So is it like a sequence that introduces all the characters in the same way that like Danganronpa has its intros every time you boot up the game? Thanks for the report, Ray. Shut up.
Sir.
Good. We'll begin working to secure the survivors. According to the information from the broker, there are 3. Yoriko Kabuya, Iroha Nijiue, and Yuki Maeda.
So was Sora working with the Foundation the entire time?
Tsurugi, listen to me. I'm alive. I'm Akane Taira, alive and well. The criminal you hate so much.
Keisuke with Team 1, and Ryutaro with Team 2. Evacuate the 2 women. Yuki Maeda, I'll take care of him myself. I wonder, has Tsurugi interacted with the real Yuki Maeda at all? Alright.
Aye.
Ryutaro, thoughts? Let's go. Well, let's move. Ray, would you come with me? Sure. Yo, Director, can I have a sec? What is it, scum? There's not 3 survivors, but 2. What? You've already checked Akane Taira. The only ones left are Yoriko Kabuya and Iroha Nijiue. Impossible. Yuki Maeda must be there too. Couldn't find him. Not here. No? Wait.
Aye.
Shobai, what happened? Eh? Where is Yuki? Why are you asking me? I got no clue. Fun fact, Ray's voice claim is Ange Ushiromiya from Umineko, Tsurugi's is Levi from Attack on Titan, and Teruya's is Panakata Fugo from JoJo. I haven't seen any of those, unfortunately. I do know, Umineko is definitely on my list, though. Just because, you know, detective game. All you paid for me to do in our contract is to deal with Mikado, and that's solved. Aren't my duties fulfilled? Don't lie, fucking trash. I know you're hiding something. Tsurugi! He's right, there are 13 connecting devices here, I just checked. At first, 15 people were involved in this case. Even after confirming the identity of the corpses, I couldn't find the bodies of Mikado Sonoji or Yuki Maeda. Keisuke, Ryutaro, the 2 of you will begin to evacuate the 2 women as directed. I'll check for myself. Shobai, you 2. Yeah. Whatever you say, boss man. Huh?
Why is nobody caring about me? No, that's not what I should be worried about. Nobody's even noticing that I'm here. It's like I don't even exist. What's this phenomenon? Am I dreaming? Am I actually still in the virtual world? And Shobai is Adachi from Persona 4. What's going on? I think, I don't know how much... Okay, how much more of this is there before we get to the trial? Like, I'll keep going, but I can't go forever. Yorko, you okay? Excuse me, can you hear me? How many fingers am I holding up? What? Where am I? Who are you? Where's Mikado? Calm down, I'm from the Kisaragi Foundation. There's... Okay, so in terms of the actual investigation, there's still like 2 to 3 more hours of it? Is that what you're saying? Holy crap. Are you Yorko Kabuya? Kisaragi Foundation. Then wait. Huh? Is this the real world? Yeah. Sorry for being late. We've had many delays due to certain incidents. The Foundation, then... Is it true? We're alive? Yorko, can't you hear my voice? The hell? Hey, don't try to run! Wait! Ah! Ryutaro, catch that chick! She's one of the prime suspects! The trial isn't terribly long. Oh, really?
I thought the trial was going to be super long.
Wait, stop! More like the post-trial's longer. Oh. What? Iroha? Do you know that girl over there? That girl is a major contributor to your situation. We'll first detain her and hand her over to law enforcement. Oh yeah, if we escape from the virtual world. Sora! Sora and Yuki? Sora. Please wake up. Hey, are you okay? You've been laid down for days, so your muscles will have contracted. Don't move around too much. Where's Sora? Huh? What are you saying? Yorko, I'm right here. I don't know if this Sora girl you're talking about. The only survivors here are you, that runaway girl, and Yuki. Just you 3. What? That's not true. I'm definitely alive. Yuki Maida's status hasn't been confirmed yet. He appears in the data, but the director's confirming it. No, you're lying. What's wrong with Keisuke, Sasa? Sora is dead? You don't know who Sora is. If you have doubts, I'll help you check the access devices to the Neo World program if you want. What the hell is going on? Yorko, just look at me. She's a ghosts. Huh? I tried to stop Yorko from looking at me, but nothing happened. My hand went directly through her body. No sensation was felt in my hand. Just a feeling of reluctance, like putting your hands through smoke. I feel like at this rate, I really feel like we're kind of gearing up for potentially only Yorko and Iroha and I guess Mikado being the only survivors. Sora. Keisuke is poisoned by Kinjo logic. He took his side unlike Ryutaro, which is why Sasa probably doesn't like him. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Why can't anyone hear me? Why am I invisible? The moment I went through Ryorko's body, I witnessed a strange phenomenon. I was faintly able to understand why. It was the truth I didn't want to realize, but I had no choice but to accept it. Careful, don't trip. This way. The man and Yorko walked over carefully. They arrived at the capsule from which I woke up some time ago.
way.
I bet nobody expected Iroha to last this long. Yep, this game's Yasuhiro or Himiko. Oh. Is this the person you call Sora? Unfortunately, she's...
Why? Why?
Oh yeah, Shobai too, excuse me. I keep forgetting about him because he basically just... he basically just left the program entirely.
Iroha and I came back, but Sora, why? Why haven't you woken up? Sora, are you kidding me? Wake up, Sora.
She can't wake up, because she died a long time ago. So I guess Akane didn't survive.
What?
This girl's name is Akane Taira. She died before the Foundation was even founded. But a few days ago, we got intel that she was alive. I guess if we're going to continue with the Metal Gear comparisons, I guess Sora/Akane is Paz, for those of you who know who that is.
Then why?
Listen carefully. To be precise, it would be more correct to say only her body is alive.
Only her body?
For some reason, her brain stopped functioning. Her body's metabolic functions work correctly, but it would be more right to say she's brain dead. I wonder how this game would go if Shobai died in Chapter 1. And I assume he'd have the same role. That would be quite a way to take the story.
Don't be ridiculous. That can't be true. Sora was alive. She still is alive.
In the virtual world.
Even if she was only virtual, BCI is a way of connecting with the brain. How could it connect to her brain if she's dead?
We're not sure. First of all, it's crazy that the cardiopulmonary function is still working without the aid of machinery in such a brain-dead state. Since this is your second or third time talking about this Adventure Camp on stream, do you have plans about making videos about it? Your favorite character from DC? I'm gonna be honest, I don't plan on making videos on Disventure Camp just because it can, like, the fandom around it can be very, like... I think you understand what I'm getting at. It's very, there's just a lot of conflict there, and I'm not particularly interested in going down that route. Not unless I certainly wouldn't make it like a mainstay on the channel, and it's also something that I can sometimes find, as you can probably tell from some of the ways I've talked about it, it's something I can be a little frustrated to talk about sometimes. As for favorite character, I honestly don't know. I guess I'd just say Tess by default, just to make it quick. With how the story of Another and Another 2 is, I get why a third never came. Honestly, where do you go from here, including with V3's place in the timeline? Yeah. I mean, this was never really... I feel like this was kind of written from the start as being a duology, so that's basically... that's basically it. It's just a matter of... It was written from the start to be a duology. It would be like adding on a third game to the Great Ace Attorney duology, because it would definitely come across as more tacked on. There's an incredible amount of interconnectedness here, which I suppose wasn't... I suppose it wouldn't be impossible for us to get to this kind of state without it being written ahead of time as a duology, but I feel like it wouldn't have been as tight, if that makes sense. I don't know how many years she's been like this, but without a doubt there's a lot of mysteries surrounding her.
It can't be... Why? Why now, after it was all over?
It sounds like you got pretty close to her. Do you even know everything she did? Danganronpa Another 3 and all the characters are Iroha, all the trials are Iroha, Iroha versus Iroha. Fuck! Besides, I'm sorry to say this after I've just rescued you, but you're under arrest.
What?
Yuriko Kabuya, you're hereby under arrest for working in a bar whilst underage. Seems like you've done well to hide it so far, but that doesn't matter. A crime is a crime, so we have to do this.
That has nothing to do with the current situation. What the hell? Wait, let go of me!
Law is absolute. Yoriko Kabuya, you're going to be detained just like your friend over there. Any side stories are omake material, Sai. After that, the Foundation leader will decide what to do with you. It's been a tough day. You should rest.
Let me go! Sora's still...
Ryutaro, are you finished? Yeah, I've caught her. She was kinda jumpy, so I tied her up. No, you've done a good job. Let's go to the helicopter, continue our mission. The director can take it from here. What's wrong, Ryutaro? It doesn't matter. Are we really cut out for this, Keisuke? We're members of the Kisaragi Foundation. We're just following orders, that's all. I understand.
Sora...
It may not be. I get the idea that, like, Tsurugi isn't, like, in the right here. I get that that's the point, but, like, what do you do with, like, all these, like, what do you do with all the, criminal, with all the, with all the fact that, like, the fact that, like, all the voids are, and Shobai, and presumably, and Kanade, and presumably more of them are criminals. Well, yeah, neither Mikado nor Tsurugi are people to look up to.
Sora... Sora!
What happened? Sora. You're as hard as a statue. Please tell me please tell me there isn't another jump scare. They're not exactly black and white, it's more varying shades of gray. More varying shades of gray, sure. It's you. I told you, didn't I? That I would look forward to the results. Oh, jeez. How are you? Do you regret it? Are you in despair? This is our destiny. You're a guardian, Sora. This is the result. This is the result we were given. That's why I warned you.
Oh, jeez! Sorry, that wasn't as bad as the Mikado thing, but that is, that did send a shiver down my spine.
Did you really believe you could be forgiven? Detaining Yoriko definitely goes too far. Like, honestly, considering everything she did, like, I think that... Also, like, wouldn't the statute of limitations... I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know, like, what the statute of limitations are for underage work, but wouldn't that have run out by now? I understand now. I finally understand everything. The person called Sora never existed. From the beginning, the prerequisite to be with everyone else was wrong. Akane Taira knew this from the start. If so, I... Are you serious? Kinjo?
Okay, but, like, Okay, I understand that, but, like, if he hands... Like, sure, but if he hands... Say he does hand Yoriko over to the police. Are the police actually going to do anything to her, though? I understand that. I'm just, like, looking at this for... I understand it's for... I understand what they're going for, though.
Soda.
Yeah, yes. Our job here is finished. There's nothing left to do. Let's give up on Yuki Maeda. What? Good. What a reasonable choice. Wait, Kinjo, are you crazy? Without even telling the intelligence team. You're going beyond acting alone now. Are you really okay with this? Yuki Maeda was the only reason we did this.
We don't really know... I guess the issue is we don't know, like... We don't know, like, the full detail of the world outside. Like... I get that I get that Tsurugi would probably just keep going after her regardless. Okay, but like Hibiki isn't like, at least from what we understand, Hibiki isn't a criminal.
ダメだ。
No, we did this to protect the survivors while we dealt with those criminals. We've done what we need to. We can leave it now. So then, Teruya...
What about everything he did?
おい、
Rei, Yuki Maeda, Teruya Otori, don't let your personal feelings get in the way. Don't let yourself get swept away by your personal feelings. You'll be irrational. Or you're going to repeat the same mistake you made last time. What... Is this about chapter 6.5? What were her personal feelings?
What's he referring to here?
ね
The director's right. We have no idea where Yuki could be. To find him, we'd have to restart the program again. That means Mikado Sonoji would return. Is that what you want to do? Mikaru, could you deal with that? If he comes back, everything we've been working for would be for nothing.
え。さあ、
If you understand, let's leave it. Mikado Sonoji is dead, most of the voids are dead, and we secured a survivor. It's an acceptable conclusion. Yeah, I can understand that. She is definitely a bully, but like when you look at her in light of like like frankly she isn't nearly as bad as a good chunk of the characters morally, I feel. Mikado captured them for the hope they inspired into the world, while Tsurugi only sees them for the crimes they committed in the past. Yeah, that is an interesting contrast. Director, if it's all over, I want my payment.
うるせえ。
Shut up. Of course I remember your reward. The mission isn't over until the convoy is in the safe zone. You'll have your payment until then. Shut up. Yeah, you got it, Haas. So, my work here's done. It was quite a difficult job. Yes. Everybody, let's withdraw for now. Rei? Yes, I understand.
どうした
What's up? Come on, Director. I'll escort you to the mainland. Shut up. Do not speak unless asked to, criminal. And I'm guessing that's the end of, the... Alright, I think I'm gonna leave it there, because it seems like we have quite a bit, we have quite a bit more to go until the trial. How much more do we have before the trial starts, is my question. You can edit here. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The fact Shobai's being let go while Yorko's being locked up for underage bar serving from years ago. Oh, yeah. I mean, granted we don't know his crimes, but, like, it's not that much of a stretch. But, yeah, that does show a certain hypocrisy on his part, so he's probably going to, yeah, it does show that Tsurugi, like... It's a very interesting follow-on from his character. Like, it makes you wonder, like, what does he deem as something, as, like, what he's willing to work with? 3 hours? Wow. Oh boy. I have to admit, though, like, I don't know what the timeline would have been on Lanouche coming up with all this, but just looking at... I'm just kind of in awe of, like, how far along we are. Like, so many... Like so much has happened to these characters. We seemingly have so much more to go. I just wonder how you think of, writing something like this and allowing all this to go on. Like, it feels... I don't want to say this is, like, grimdark, but it definitely feels... It certainly has elements of that, if you get what I mean. Or maybe that's more... Maybe it's closer to Grimbright, but honestly, like, considering the leaders of the two factions, it does kind of lean more towards grimdark. I don't know. Though. As a writer, I can say this with these big projects. Oh. I mean, I imagine they take a while. I know that Kraz wrote... I know Kraz's fan case, The Deceitful Turnabout, which I hear is incredible, ends up and it took him about a year to write, I believe. You have the major elements figured out early on: death order, major twists, etc. Yeah, I mean, yeah. We talked about this with I think we had a similar conversation about setting up the actual cases. Obviously, things can shift, but getting those in stone first. Yeah, like, personally, that's kind of how I feel. I'd want the ending. That's kind of how I feel. Like, I mean, I'm actually approaching that with like with several of my writing projects. I always have like a vision of the ending in mind first. Then you can figure out smaller details from there, the whys and hows to those big twists. It does lead me wondering, does it mean that you... question for... I do have a question for you, Golem. Because of, like, that whole working backwards thing, does that mean that, like, the characters in terms of, like, maybe what their talents are or like, what their overall personalities are, does that result in them being, like one of the last things you end up coming up with? Or what? Like, I guess no, that would be more of a pre-writing thing. There'd be, like, one of the later things in the pre-writing. Yeah, I really got to get back into writing. It's just I've got a lot going on and trying to get... I have a lot that I want to do. I'd imagine that up to this point, things like Mikado's main goal, Tsurugi's return and fall here, etc. But then figuring out why and how they're here is later on. I see. Yeah, I guess that's my issue. I just never quite know... That's always been my issue. I never quite know... I feel like I just get overwhelmed by how much I'd want to do. I think the Keys in a Case from DRA was really well written. I love that case so much. Yeah, I agree. It's... Honestly, cases 2, 3, and 4 from DRA maybe are simpler, or maybe on the simpler side in terms of the mysteries, but the writing is just so much... is just, generally speaking, a lot smarter. It's so good. So much so that I might have to make videos on them. I no promises though, but I might. Just might. Even though like the chapter 4 even though chapter 4 technically got a pseudo analysis in the DRA 1 video. How important that character is to the overall plot and what roles they need to play. Sometimes a reason or exact detail can hit you later for a character, but often you want the base info done early. Yeah, exactly. I love the Chapter 6 investigations in this series because the info's given in a way that makes me want to know more and get invested in the story instead of getting fed with info that I don't care about. Yeah, I think so too. They definitely... There's definitely a lot more care here in terms of getting you to... like, giving you reasons to care. Yeah. It's, I mean, part of it is also just how it's a very, like, interconnected mystery, and one where stuff is very clearly building into each other. You're learning it in an organic way rather than reading mangas. Yeah, Danganronpa 2's final investigation was definitely the most on rails. And it's also kind of an issue... I hope that 2x2, granted 2x2 will have kind of an unfair advantage because it knows the ending it's going to ahead of time, but if it's going to be a completely different scenario, different twists, different endings, then I think that it would definitely help to, like, try a different approach and try to make this more organic and interconnected. Everything feels so... Yeah, like, revealing stuff early, like, letting... Like, you don't have to... I think this is also why Trigger Happy Havoc is generally seen as having the stronger ending, at least from a writing standpoint, because you at least learn stuff, like, earlier on, relatively speaking. Like, you learn about Mukuro's existence at the end of Chapter 4, and so Chapter 5 is mostly spent dealing with that. And then Chapter 6 is, and then Chapter 6, you know, doesn't have as much ground to cover because they've actually gone over some stuff. I'll say make sure to check out the game Lanuge worked on after this. Is that Chrono Arc? Is that what it's called? What's the game you're talking about, Golem? You get the photos and other small details. Kyoko asking early on to Monokuma, what did you do to my body, and so on. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Like, the way I see it, there are two types of foreshadowing. There's stuff that you'll obviously get on... there's stuff that you, like, if you're paying attention, you can notice. Or at the very least, like, the characters... enough attention is drawn to it that even if you aren't super observant, you at least understand, like, that something important is happening. Whereas there's also, I guess, more obscure foreshadowing. Like, I think I brought up this example before. In Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward, there's one character who basically indirectly predicts how they die in a specific path. That's an example of indirect foreshadowing. Or like obscure or like foreshadowing that only makes sense on a rewatch. And I think Danganronpa, the main series, leans too much on foreshadowing that you'll only understand on a rewatch. It's okay to have it, but if you rely on it too much, you end up with a story where it just feels like things happen and that's it, you know? And that's not to say Danganronpa does that all the time. Like there is build up to some events, but certainly not to the degree we're seeing here. And I think that if they just were more and it's also why I think some people may like. It's also why, like, at least from a structure standpoint, UDG does fare a little bit better because you actually learn information over time rather than all at the end. I just think that, yeah, it's an issue that the series often runs into. Yeah, I will have to take a look at Chrono Arc. When did that game even come out? Like, I do have it on my wish list, but I didn't see when it came out. Chrono Arc came out 2019, okay. That was a while, though. That was a while ago, though. I wonder what Lanuge is working on now. But, yeah. Also, for those of you who don't know, although I assume if you're here, you pay close attention to my, I assume that if you're here, you pay close attention to my community tab, but in case you don't, obviously we are getting close to the end of SDRA2. I can't imagine me still being... Even counting the free time events and side stories, I can't imagine us, still being in this after February is over. 2024 on PC. Okay. But still, like, but still, that's only a PC port, and, like, Lanuge is a writer, so, well, Lanuge was a lead writer on Chrono Arc, so would they have worked on it? Has he worked on anything after that, or is that it? Oh, 2019 with demo. Gotcha. Anyway, oh yeah, because, like, Steam pages have, like, you know, early access, demos, etc. I don't know why I'm not... I sure I'm not thinking this through. Oh yeah, random side question. Are there any more jump scares in this game? Because, I need to be prepared as much as I can be. But, yeah. Speaking of, I do want to say that we are getting... Obviously, we're getting close to the end of SDRA 2. I know that Noah is planning on recording his playthrough very, very soon. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully we won't advance so fast that, like, I'll be burnt out on this game by then. But I doubt it. But yeah, we are getting close to the end. I made a community post. Basically talking about what I might do after the SDRA2 streams. And granted, this is still a long ways out, so plans could always change. Basically, I see a few different options. Option 1, I take a break from streaming for a while. Option 2, I think I find a new game to play, which will most likely be, well, not most likely. Like, I do have ideas. The main ideas I have are playing Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice on stream, or the Tyrion Cuthbert remaster, excuse me. I'm a little less inclined to do Tyrion Cuthbert on stream. I'm really excited to see that you guys give really great commentaries, jokes, and voice acting. Thank you, Mem. Thank you, Em. I'm glad to hear that. I feel like I do feel like I've been kind of dry at times throughout this playthrough, especially later on. I don't really comment. I feel like I don't comment on as much as I should be, but yeah. But yeah, where was I going with this? All right, because Tyrion Cuthbert is like what I'm making videos on next, I may just play it on my own time. I'm not against streaming it, but I would need to I definitely wouldn't only be playing it on stream unless I'm streaming like every dang day, because those videos have to come out sometime, you know? I guess in the meantime I'll also work on I'll also probably work on other scripts, because I do have a few. Granted, I would prefer to not have to use as many breather videos, but that might just be unavoidable. Honestly, this might just be a good time to get more scripts into the pipeline, just so I've got stuff to work on. It'll be just like old days. Like, I had the first three... No, wait. The Chapter 2, the Danganronpa Chapter 2 and 3 videos, and the DRA 1 video, those 3 scripts were all complete by the time I started this channel. So yeah, I guess it will be like old times. I do have one video that I do, at time of recording, as of this statement, I only have one script for a much shorter video than anything I've ever made. It's longer than an update video, I promise, but I feel like it would probably come out to 10, maybe 15 minutes. Assuming it, which I'm also thinking of using as an April Fool's special, but yeah, we'll see about that. And yeah, I will admit, like, recently things have been quite busy for me, you know, finishing grad school, trying to figure out what's going to happen after that. But like, I forget if I talked about... Okay, I know we're kind of at the end of the stream and we're just like rambling, but... Well, I'm rambling. You're watching me ramble. But... I can't remember if I talked about the Tyrion Cuthbert remake on the last stream. I might have. But I don't actually know that much. I didn't know that much about what was in it. All I knew is that there were going to be some new scenes, and I thought... some new scenes, like, some, like, streamlining of the cases and how they play out, and that the third case is getting a rewrite of its mystery, which I'm very excited for, because that case is... It's not bad, but compared to what came before, it's kind of lame. But I decided to look up the remake, see if anyone had covered it yet. And it doesn't seem like there's that much about it. Like, most people like covered this game on launch. So that's another reason why these videos are going to take longer, because now I have to not only talk about the launch version, I have to talk about the remaster, because I don't think it would be right to talk about one without the other. But I'm honestly really excited for experiencing the remake, because I saw this scene towards the end of the first case that brings in so many characters that don't get involved until much later, some of whom barely get get barely any screen time at all in the launch version. And like the scene itself that they were shown in was really fascinating. I didn't see all of it, but the little bit I did see, super fascinating. Like it contains more of that intrigue that that I ended up liking the game for. And if you know me, you'd know I'm a sucker for world building. So, which these scenes, if they're like that for the most part, I feel like this is gonna be really fun. And like, there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about regarding Attorney of the Arcane. There is, because like I know it's easy. I know that like especially on launch, it's easy to look at it and see it as just diet Ace Attorney meets Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm of the opinion that it is more than that. It is so much more than that. And hopefully I'll be able to convince you of that once I finally get around to these videos. It'll probably take a while, but I'll also say that streaming, if I don't stream the you know what? If I don't stream I am gonna need footage for Attorney of the Arcane anyway. I'm probably gonna if I don't stream the playthrough of it, I'm gonna at least record it, because I will need the clips. I will need the clips for making the videos. So might as well kill two birds with one stone. And if you guys are at all interested, I can put that in a separate playlist, probably on a second channel, just so I don't clog this space up, because I'd rather keep that separate, even if that might be a little confusing to find. Maybe I'll put in I don't know if I'll put it on my personal channel or make us like a completely separate channel just for extras related to my content creation. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. But yeah. The other thing I want to note, aside from it, let me pull up the community post itself. I don't know if I'll do like a poll, or I will definitely ask y'all's opinions for what you're interested in. So if you have a certain preference for what I play next on this channel, be sure to sound off. But basically, I've already mentioned the remake. I've mentioned both the other Ace Attorney games I've yet to get to. And the last thing is backlog streams, which I have mentioned a few times, but mostly in passing. So basically, I've got a big backlog on games I still have from previous Steam sales that I want to just get out of the way before I get anything new. And I was thinking that maybe it would be, streaming them would be a good way to just knock them out. So there's a lot of stuff on there. If you look in the community post, there will be a pinned comment with all the games that are in consideration, as well as a couple of lower priority ideas. Because just so you understand like what's on there. There are a few roguelikes in there, which I don't think I'll make a regular series. Those will probably be more first impression streams, or in the case of something like Crying Suns, at least enough to finish the main story, because that one does seem to have a story to it. But yeah, if you want to, if you see a specific game in there that I could also see myself restructuring my streams so that I actually add a third one, and depending on the week, I'll depending on the week and day, I'll do different games, or whichever. I'll do either the backlog game or the main game I'm focusing on now, even though the Ace Attorney games are technically in the backlog, but Anyway, yeah, if any of what I just talked about sounded interesting, check my latest community post and let me know what sounds interesting to you. Tell me what you'd want to see me play. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do a poll. Maybe I don't know if I'll do a poll. Maybe maybe what I'll do is make various comment. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do a randomizer or something. I'll cross that bridge when we get there. There are some roguelike games in there, like Balatro, so those will probably just be first impression streams. I probably won't make those regular series, because those technically don't have an end. I mean, just for reference, it took me like 300 something hours to 100% slay the Spire, and technically I could still do more in that. But yeah, thank you for the thank you for saying that, Revolution. I was considering that, like, mystery visual novels are what kind of put me on the map, so to speak, even as a tiny, tiny, tiny dot. I do appreciate that. Hi, Chris Ball. Unfortunately, the stream's over. We're in terms of gameplay, we're not progressing past this part. You'll have to wait till Friday for that. But yeah, I don't really have anything left to say. So yeah, for one last time, sound off in the comments of my community hub post if you want to have a say in what games I play going forward. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Seems like we're gearing up for a very somber ending, probably even more so than DRA 1. So, see y'all later. Good night.